Alright guys, so get a lot of questions from folks out there that wonder what professional chefs like to use for equipment, and predominantly they mean what is it that we carry around in those backpacks that we bring, or knife kits. Every chef is different. Everybody has their own tools of the trade, so to speak, that they love, and they gravitate towards certain things that work for them. So don't think that this video is meant to be, this is what you should be doing. For folks out there that think that, you know, everything is really by your own choice and what feels right for you. So a couple of things that I would always say that what chefs and young chefs, when I teach them, you know, when they're coming out from the business for the first time, the most important things you can ever have is a little book that has the ability to carry it in your pocket during service. And you can start writing notes down based on what the chef is telling you, or items that have worked, that have not worked. It becomes almost your little Bible, and it's the go-to. And I have a lot of these lying around, and I've used them. I've changed the recipes. I've added certain things because of in-season items. So invaluable piece, and I've upgraded a little bit to a larger one as well. And I encourage all of the guys to always have those with them. The other thing, most important thing in our business is stay hydrated. So I always carry my hydro flask with me. Ice water is my preference. Obviously, whatever other folks would like. Timer. It's amazing how many times I go to people's homes. We do dinners together. I've done events with a lot of the chefs, and we have them. We carry them around in our pockets. Sometimes we have ones that go around your neck as well. That way you can stay in close contact with what's going on. This is your lifeline. This is what stops us from making big mistakes when we don't need to. So very, very important. Now we'll get into kind of the nitty-gritty of what equipment, what it is that I like. Usually when I'm going to an event, I will look at taking out, as I call it, the altar, and we create an area where we can have all of the items put out in front, so I have it for myself, so I can see everything and I know where it is. I have a preference for spoons. I use what we call, this is a Grey Coon spoon. This is also made by the same person, Grey Coons, a very famous person, passed away recently, tragically. And then I go through, you know, kind of where my service, what I'm going to need that afternoon or that evening or during my prep for that day. If I'm going to be heavily working on pastry, or if I'm going to be heavily working on savory, depending on what I'm doing. But I'm going to kind of go through it quickly. Peeler, I like this type of peeler. I'm not a big fan of the ones that you hold sideways and go this way. I like this one. It feels better to my wrist. Another set of spoons, little spoons. One of my favorite tools is a little Joyce Chen scissors. And all of the most of these items that I'm showing you right now, you can get them at jbprints.com. You go on to JB Prints out in New York, and they're all available to be ordered online. A great website to go in and look. Offset spatula, use that for everything, turning fish, you name it, to pastries and pasta. This is a fish spatula, always carry one of those around. Pastry brush. Now we can't use wooden spoons as much anymore because they soak in the flavors, and they're considered to be a little unsafe. Even though if you go to Italy and you make risotto and you make it with one of these versus a wooden spoon, they probably wouldn't like it. So again, I use one of these. Again, thermometer, very, very important. It's always good to be exact. You know, this is science. What we do is very scientific, especially when you're doing pastry and bread baking. Okay. One of my favorite tools, you heard me talking about in a lot of the videos I've done, a microplane. Can't live without this thing. I love it. Another fish spatula. This is my go-to knife. This is a Misono French knife. It's one of my personal favorites. I love the way it feels. It chops well. It holds its edge, and I really care. This is the one I always bring out when I'm doing any kind of dinner or anything at all in the kitchen. This is a small kind of utility knife. Again, the same company makes it. It's Misono. Again, available on jbprints.com. Love this one. And sometimes I carry one of these. We call this a veg knife. Or when I grew up as an apprentice in Europe, we used to call this the office knife. I think it's because it's considered to be the most popular one in the kitchen, especially for a young chef. And that's pretty much the biggest amount. I mean, I have a lot of other tools, obviously, in this backpack. Normally, I don't need to carry them out or use them in the kitchen. I do have a small little tongs as well. This is more for presentation, tongs for serving on plates, not a utility tongs that I use for turning certain things. You know, there's a lot of other items that I carry from, you know, fish scalers, you know, obviously measuring spoons, stuff like that, but that gives you kind of a brief overview of what it is to be a professional chef and what it is to, you know, I always tell people, it's like, you know, to be successful in the kitchen, you have to have the right tools to make you successful. So I appreciate it. I appreciate you watching this. Hopefully it helps you. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me directly. Thank you.